You were not born to raise kids only.
What advice would you give to the younger Vandita right now?
They will eventually succeed. Follow your passion or ride the wave.
What is going with the flow means according to you? You're scaring me now. Hi, welcome to my first podcast. Finally, after let's say 5 months of procrastination and telling my mind that I'll do it, I've finally started this podcast. And the podcast name is Going with the Flow, and this is the first episode, and we have Mrs. Vandita Tewari Kapoor. Hi, Vandita, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Great, awesome. First question to you is this. From there, we'll take the conversation forward. Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do?
Yeah.
Multiple reasons.
Okay.
So I think at the age where I am right now, and my kids are kind of grown up, it is very important for me to be meaningfully occupied. So when I get up in the morning, I should have a purpose
Okay.
and I should look forward to something.
Okay.
So I work. Why I do Ayurveda is your question?
I'll come to Ayurveda later. It's about you. So when you said purpose, how important is for a person to have a meaningful purpose?
I think long term or a medium term, it makes a lot of difference because that it keeps you going. So if
Okay.
you have short goals, short term goals, they just motivate you to get up, to go and achieve that.
Okay.
And then you look for some other short term goal that you want to go and achieve. You can obviously take a day break or 2 days break. That's a good breather, but it is good to have short term goals which lead up to something big.
For how long you are doing this? Let's say business, entrepreneurship. For how long you've been doing this?
Almost 3 years.
3 years. And in this 3 years, how did you manage to have a work-life balance? Number one. Number two, do you have a work-life balance, or is it a particular ratio you give to work and life?
I don't think as a parent you have a choice
Okay.
to have a work life balance. You have to make sure that you have it. It may not be a balance, but you have to have work and you have to have a life. And most of that life is around them.
So, as a parent who is running business, I'm sure you and your husband is also into business, correct? And there is kids to look after. Now, how do you manage this? So now you said there is no balance. So, what is the ratio you give? Is it the majority of ratio you give to the life to raise up the children? The majority of life or the energy you give it in the work side?
I'm not saying there is no balance. I'm saying that is not a criteria.
Okay.
You have to do both. At times you end up doing one more than the other.
Okay.
But you just go with the flow.
But for how long you'll hold this together? I mean, you need to.
It is, no. I don't think that's a question that exists.
Okay.
You want to do both.
Okay.
One is your personal life, your kids, there is no question about that. But the other is for you because you are also living your life. And the moment you start devoting everything to your family or to your children, eventually you start getting frustrated that where is this person?
Okay.
You were not born to raise kids only. So where are you? What are you doing with,
Nice.
your dreams or your aspirations?
Nice. Very nice. So on that, the thing is to now then from where you started till now, you've come a long journey. You've built an empire. That's the right word to use. Of
decent business.
being a leading company in nutraceutical food sector. And I'm sure I've seen Ayurved growing. By the way, Ayurved is her company. Yeah. Ayurved growing from zero to, for where it is right now, and still it's growing. Now, to run this, right, as a founder of Ayurved, to run this and the same time to, making sure that you raise your kids, how difficult it is.
Very difficult. But
And-
it's a choice.
Okay. But how do you manage it? So what do you say? So when you wake up, what do you say? What's your mindset look like?
The only way to make anything like this work, I mean, I have kids and I have work. I may have something else and I may have kids. But the only way to make this work is to have your day planned better.
Okay. Planning.
And also, had I not enjoyed what I'm doing, then it would have been more tough. So I enjoy what I do, the work that I do.
Yeah, definitely. You need to enjoy. Yeah, that's nice. It's a personal question. What advice would you give to the younger Vandita right now? For example, if you see the little Vandita who loves Maggie, who loves the food aspect, what advice would you give the younger Vandita right now?
Advice regarding work.
Anything in life.
If I were to give that advice to myself, I would say just start early. There is never the right time. There's nothing called a right time. There is no way that your responsibilities will reduce. There is no way that your energy is going to increase as you age. So just start as early as you can, whatever you want to do. So when I had my first child, I thought that I have to, raise that child, maybe make him 5 or 6 years old before I go back and I do something. No, there's nothing like that. You should just do it when you want to do it, and you will figure out a way. If you really want to do it, you'll figure it out.
Nice. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Good. What keeps that state, happiness?
What
So
keeps
how do you determine happiness, first of all? Tell me that.
that I'm content?
You're content. And how do one keep themselves content?
By doing exactly what you want to do.
Oh, nice. Good. That's nice. Now you are in a family of OG hustlers. Yeah, your family is full of hustlers. Yeah, your brother, your husband, technically your dad. Everyone is hustlers. So when you start something, do you have a fear of going forward or no? Why? Because when you fall back, you don't have to worry. Correct? You have hustlers. Do you have that mindset, or still? How do you take that? Is it a good or a bad way?
I think it's just the other way around.
Like,
Because you have a family of hustlers, such workaholics, and such achievers, there's much more pressure on you
right?
to not fail. So the other feeling doesn't exist that if you fail, you have so much to fall back on. No. I think from the outside, it looks like this, but anybody who's starting anything would never want to start for failure. They would always want to start to succeed in it. So, no, that is not the feeling that I have. But one thing that's fortunate when you have such hustlers or such people who are experienced is that they're always there to guide you, even though they have not walked on the path on which you're walking. But fundamentals of success always remain the same.
Right. So, for example, if at all a young girl is watching the podcast till here, yeah, what advice would you give? I mean, everyone is quite inspired by you. Every girl, every woman, because right now, so-called Gen Z, what it is right now is they have been seeing their parents, so they are trying to be authentic. When I say authentic, is they're trying to do what they love, they're trying to find what they need, but they don't know where to start. They're confused, right? They know that they want to do something, but they don't know what to start, how to go about it. In this confusion, the time goes away. By this, they end up in a usual stereotypical life, correct? How do you take your first step? Because I believe a successful business is equal to immediate execution. If you don't, because multiple people have multiple ideas, yeah, that is true, right? Everyone has a lot of ideas. It's all about execution. How do you execute? It's always the first step, right? So what do you tell these girls? What is the first step? How do they start? How to, for example, I have seen a lot of friends who want to start a business. They just say, I want to start a business, I want to start my own brand. They don't know anything. They don't know business at all. They say, I want to start a own brand. How? What's the first step to do and how to go about it?
Technically, the first step is to start.
Like
I said, there is no defined path.
Okay.
I may have 3 achievers in my family. They also cannot come and teach me to run my business successfully.
Okay.
I have to do it myself. So the first step is to start. The second is nobody comes prepared. But as you start walking, you figure out. You will fail. You'll fail every week, every day, every month. You will fail in something, but you'll figure out. But the biggest difference between somebody who has succeeded or partially succeeded is that they took the first step. So there are people, I would say 99% of the people who have very good ideas, and they're very proud of the fact that they have ideas, but the best are the 1% who actually go forward with that idea. And even if they fail, they will eventually succeed. They may fail 3, 4, 5, 7 times. Eventually, they will 100% succeed. So to your point, what do they do? Logically, I can tell you, you need to start by having some bit of R&D done as to what are you going to do. So there are 2 ways to do business. One is you follow your passion. you do not care about how much of a demand there is in the world. But whatever you do, you will find, if you do it with passion, and because you do it with passion, because you love that thing because you're good at it, everything comes together. And whatever you end up doing, the product, the outcome is very, very high quality. And you will find your mindset of people who will love that. It may or may not be a very big business. That is one, which is you follow your passion. Number two is you ride the wave, which is where is the wave of business going. For example, today it may be AI, application of AI in different aspects. So you just enter the this whole herd of AI and you come up with an app or something and you say application of AI, you will get funding and you will figure it out. So there are just two ways. One, follow your passion, or ride the wave, but just do it. Do it is the first thing.
Good. Thank you for that. Because a lot of people don't know how to do it also. But matlab, so one person recently told me that to determine, so I was also clueless to determine. So she gave me a very easy way to determine my strength. So she made me write on a sheet of paper that all my strength. Then from there, I was able to figure it out, what my strength is. Then from there, I pointed that, let's say I jot down 3 points, 7 points. In that 3 points is my strength. From that strength, I saw the market gap. Then I saw, okay, this is what I can do. But the fact that I have finished that stage, now it's easy. Now I have clarity on what to do. But that's also a good way I felt.
Okay. I can tell you what I did. So I did not ride the wave. I knew my strength was health, food, nutrition. So I took a piece of paper, I wrote my set of strengths, I wrote my set of interests, and I said, what do I love to do? And then I kept bottling them up and clubbing them together, and finally it arrived at nutrition. Let's do something in the area of health and nutrition. Eventually it became a tide. It just flew in that direction, that Ayurveda is being supported a lot post-COVID. That came in our favor. But yeah, like I said, identifying your strengths or your skill sets or riding the wave. There are just two ways to do it. So either when you're passionate about something, you absolutely own that space. Nobody can do it better than you. So eventually your talent will be sought after.
Wow. Thank you for that. And the next question is that what is going with the flow means according to you?
Going with
because
the flow?
Everyone says, don't worry, buddy, go with the flow. You'll get it right. Don't worry, buddy, go with the flow. You get it right. What do you believe that, or do you think that no, everyone should have a plan in a sheet of paper and then go? So what is
I think different stages of business, people will give you different answers.
Okay.
So in my first 3-6 months of business, I wanted a plan. But now, 3 years later, I feel just go with the flow, because the time frame is really huge. If I speak to somebody in my family who's run a business for 15 years, they will say, what is the hurry? Because this is a really, really long walk. It's a marathon. It's a really, really long walk. So do not pressurize yourself week to week, day to day. Just keep doing what you're doing every single day, and obstacles will come and they will go. Don't fret over it. But, these perceptions change as you grow in the business. So for me, going with the flow is just keep doing it. Doesn't matter. You will feel, every 10 days, I would say something comes up. There's a blockage somewhere, something happens and we have to figure it out. But now what I've understood is this won't shut. So nothing will really make you stop unless you want to stop. You just have to go.
Got it.
And there's no plan. I don't think you can ever have such a solid plan, or you can ever be so prepared in business. You can never be that prepared in business.
So why does it fall into place?
What fell into place?
Everything. If you see that you start, you're going forward, it keeps falling into a right place.
But that is what you see as a viewer. Right. If you ask me,
no.
As
this
a
is
doer,
for personally. So for you also, it keeps falling into places.
No.
Does it?
No. It looks like it falls into place, because let's say you have 3 doors in front of you. You try to walk into all 3. They were 2 shut. Only one was open. Because it was open, you walked into that. When you will look back, you will feel it fell into place. It did not fall into place. You tried all 3. That is how it works.
Got it.
When you face a problem, you try all the options available. One of them will work.
Got it.
The idea here is you have to get up and solve the problem.
Got it.
Nobody ever will solve it for you.
That's a wonderful point. Yeah, I think that's a great point that no one else solved it for you. Why? Because Dipender Goyal, that is Zomato founder, has told once that when the problems are real, because we keep telling that, oh, I might fall into this problem, or these problems are going to come into places in future. Let's not try this. Give it a try. When the problems are real, gun in your head and solve it. This line stuck with me, and which made me a little lighter, because when the problems are there, we'll solve it. So, in that note, now then you are, because you go through a lot, correct, in business. How is spirituality helping you in this, or are you spiritual? So the first question, let me put it in the right way. First of all, are you spiritual? If yes, how is it helping in your mindset journey? In your full journey?
I think I am. I believe a lot in energy.
Okay.
So I believe in a lot in people around me
Okay.
and the energy that they give me.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm a firm believer in that, I feel whatever I do or whatever success we see is an outcome of the energy that my team is throwing into work. So it's not just the hard work. Hard work is just like a machine, you're doing something. But a lot of it is to do with the energy that those 20 people put in every single day. So whatever we face, or whatever obstacle we clear, or whatever we do not face is also an outcome of the beautiful energy that these people have. So I believe a lot in energy.
Wow.
And yeah, so I think I am. If I do face some obstacle, and if I have to think of someone, I think of my dad. He's no more. So I think of him, and I think that energy helps me out. So I believe a lot in energy.
Wow. Wow, that's great. Last two more questions. And I just want to know, can you tell me a little bit of Ayurveda? What is Ayurveda all about? And why did you start the company? And how well it's going? Everything.
Why did I start Ayurved? So Ayurved is a nutraceutical food brand. The idea was to make food which has a lot of proven ancient Ayurvedic ingredients in a food format that a child can enjoy. It has to be tasty and they can keep themselves healthy. So when we launch products with different health benefits that, sleep, brain, immunity, gut, eye, all these products, all these health benefits. Why did I do it? Is because my own children, I had to make sure that they also get the right nutrition. How do I end up giving them the right Ayurvedic herbs or the right ingredients? Because they're also going with the flow. They're also eating a lot of trash available in the market. Now,
What is
so that
trash
was the
available
idea.
in the market? What is the trash available in the market?
A lot of highly processed,
Okay.
lab created, enhanced food products, which are very, very tasty apparently, but they have an adverse effect on health, on brain, when consumed regularly, and in the long term, they can really damage the health of the child. So, and you can't really keep your child away from that, you know that, but if there are other ways to somehow counter what's happening to the body, then we should try that. So a lot of ancient science, there is immense amount of research on Ayurvedic herbs. Unfortunately, not done in India, but done outside of India. And they're very, very powerful herbs, and that is what we have relied on. It took us about 1.5 years to do a lot of R&D to arrive at different products. And so my children are the reason why I started.
Okay.
The first few products that came out were for them. I am still an ardent user of my own products.
Are they using it now?
They use it every single day.
Wow,
Not
that's
even a
nice.
day goes by when they don't take it.
Wow.
And not just me, their teachers or their coaches, everybody can see a difference, that there is something different in them versus rest of the kids.
So
and
this
they have
product-
come to me to talk about it.
This product is basically brain. You're developing a kid's brain, correct? By your hero product, right? How important is for anyone to develop their brain? And can you talk about neurodegeneration, how it's going to affect people aging of the brain?
I mean, everybody would want their brain to be developed. And we understand that after 6 years of age, brain development doesn't happen. All that is, a false information. It goes on up till 25 years of age, but it doesn't end there. It may not further develop after that age, but you still have to take care of it. Why do we see dementia coming up or Parkinson's? All these things come up, Alzheimer's. They've become just so common now. Is because you've stopped taking care of this part of your body. And so even though you may not be a child, you've become an adult, but you have to make sure that your brain doesn't decay. The
Right.
cells of the brain are active till the end. So there are lots of exercises and lots of things that you can do, but you also have to eat the right brain food
Right.
every single day. So that's what we do for adults. We've made brain products for adults. We've made brain products for kids.
Nice. And how important is exercise for a brain? For your
Very
brain?
important. I think it is like both the things have to be balanced with what you eat and how you make your brain function. So
Right.
you can't just be eating all the required brain food and just sleep all day. You have to make your brain function to keep it sharp. The idea is to keep getting the new and new neuro connections, to
Got it.
form new neuro connections, and to keep the existing ones active.
Wow.
That will keep your brain very sharp, the memory very sharp.
That's very informative, Anta. Thank you. And one last question. What advice would you give whoever is watching? First of all, whoever is watching this long, I would give a huge thank you to them. The first video this is. But if they come to the end of the video, what advice would you give to everyone in their life? Because everyone right now, as you're told, they're not riding the wave, nor they're not starting. They're going with the flow. Why? Because they playing safe. There is no risk factor in them. They're playing it safe. A job, get it done. I want to play it safe. It is not because they don't want to take risks. It is because of the narratives what the family and the outcome in the circumstances put onto them. How do you break them? And what advice would you give to every youngsters right now and to achieve something? So what is the one advice you would love to give to every youngsters? Because I have seen a lot of people looking up to you, your teammates looking up to you, many people looking up to you. So what advice would you give to every youngsters in terms of their career and life?
Okay, I have played it safe most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And what I realized after playing it safe, when I have to look back, that it's fine to play it safe, but there is nothing that beats hard work. So if you want to achieve something, there's no safe zone.
Okay.
There's a lot of risk, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of heartbreak, there's a
But
lot
the
of
outcome
pressure.
is 10x.
Huh?
But the outcome is 10x.
Nobody knows if the outcome will be 10x
Okay.
or 1x or 2x.
You're scaring me now. Thanks.
But there is no denying the hard work. So there's one word that I tell my children also, there's one word that I follow always is grit. You have to be in routine and you have to be very determined and hard work. There is nothing that replaces that. Even if you're doing a job or you're doing a business or you're thinking of starting something, you have to be very regular about your hard work. And so that is one thing. Other than that, I feel that this new generation has a lot of risk-taking capability. Okay. What I like is they've built a lot of skill set, which is beautiful, that you can now rely on your own skill set and make a business out of it.
Right.
So you, for example, let's say have a skill in creativity, you can build a very big business out of it. You don't necessarily have to do something in engineering or medical only. So there are new areas that have opened up. So I feel that's a much bigger playing ground for people. So had I done a business in something else, I think I would not have been so comfortable because I'm not a master in that area, but I feel doing something in nutrition makes me very secure because I own the space.
Right.
So if you own something, if you are a master in something, definitely go for that at least.
Thank you, Vandita. This was great. And thank you for being the first guest of my podcast. I don't know if this will be the first and the last video on the podcast, but I am trying to do more podcasts. But thank you for being the first guest, for gracing this beautiful podcast, which is known as Going with the Flow. And we went with the flow, and I think I learned a lot in this few minutes what I've spoken to you. Thank you for that. I'm sure people in the process will learn a lot of things from you, from everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.